Hey guys, what's going on? This is Pietro Terzano. Welcome back to this new video of the Savius video content program. I'm glad to see you're back. It means that somehow I'm not totally boring you. It means that I'm creating some content of value, and that maybe possibly I'm initiating some discussion in the forums or among you, or triggering some inner reflection. That is the purpose of this video. Now, of course, whoever the owners of Savius who asked me to produce the video content, not all the time happy about what I'm saying, because if you've been watching my videos, it seems that all the time I'm sort of discouraging you to start your trading career, and it's not my purpose to discourage you to start. Is that what I really want to achieve here is for you to have a total clarity, and I want you to start in the right way and having a clear mindset about what you're going to face in your path towards becoming a trader. What's the best way to achieve this goal of yours, and then to have a clear view of the status of things. So I'm trying to add my experience to my personal experience. Sometimes it could be right or wrong. You can have a totally different opinion about what I'm saying. So I'm not discouraging you to start this trading career. I just encouraging you to do it, but to do it in the right way and for the right results. So what are we gonna talk today about is trade for a living, and I'm pretty sure you all watching these videos because you want to trade for a living, don't you? I'm pretty sure you do. At the same time, I can tell you that large majority of you guys watching this video, girls, I can tell you that you probably want it for the wrong reason. So what I want you to reason on in this video together with you is if you actually want this thing in your life for the right reasons. When I'm telling this, I can already picture you, handing over there at the bar with your friends, trying to impress them. Yes, I trade for a living. I'm a trader, a professional trader. What does it mean? Well, Wall Street, the stuff, that movie with Michael Douglas and Charlie Sheen. Well, that's me. Wolf of Wall Street? That's me. So I can see that, yes, today the S&P went up 1% and I made $3,000. That's, in the imagination, the dreamland of all of us. But then at the same time, we know that the reality most of the times is totally different. So, when we started Savius, one of the steps to actually go and get real money capital and real money funding was to go through an interview. And actually we had also psychological tests and assessment. We're trying to find out we had the professional. We bought a bunch of tests from a professional of this sort of attitudinal test. We wanted to spot any characterial vacancies, let's say, or tendencies, particular skills, and but one of the questions I really like to pose when having the first initial interview with the candidates were, why do you want to do this? Why? It's a simple question. Why? It's very, straightforward. Well, when it comes to trade for a living, especially if you want to do it from a retail point of view, you want to do it from home, just for yourself, etc. You don't want to be a professional money manager. You will be happy just to trade your own money. Well, the replies are always the same, and that's why I think you want this for the wrong reason. Okay, let's go through the reply. Number one, because I want to have time for myself. I want to be free. I want to be my own boss. First of all, trading for a living is like an entrepreneurial activity, and like all the entrepreneurs in the world, I can tell you the large majority of the time you don't have that much of a free time, because the employee, when he finishes his office hours, is done, while if you're trading with your own money and it's your company, you're not done. That you bring that on holiday with you. You go on holiday, you bring that problem with yourself, and so it's not that it's just you click the monitor, the day is over, that's it. If you had a bad day, you feel sad. If you had a positive day, maybe you're euphoric, but it's very difficult to detach that trading from your personal life. So that sort of a trading, it has a toll, and so it's difficult to say, okay, I have more free time, I'll be my own boss, I'll be free. To be your own boss, it means that you work a lot more, because you need to make your living out of it. At the same time, you need to study, because most of the times, if you didn't have the right education path path, the right studies path to get there, it means that you studied something else, so you start studying. So buying books, buying trading courses, finding the right mentor, keeping yourself updated on the news or whatever economic news comes out, or data, studying report, studying algo, studying here, studying that. So you keep on studying, and you keep on studying not to be on top of the game, you keep on studying because you need that just to be in the game. So even right now, as I'm talking to you, of course I'm studying. When I'm done with you, I have reports to read, I have books to read, and possibly I have course to attend, just because I want to keep improving and I want to keep training and be on top of my game. So more time for yourself. That is not absolutely, is not true in an absolute way when referred to trade for a living. So that is number one. So we move now to number two. Okay, we saw that number one doesn't necessarily mean having a lot of time for yourself, because anyway you have to be there waiting for the right opportunity in front of the screen. Okay, so it doesn't necessarily mean that you're freeing some time for yourself. At the same time, you want to be financially independent. You're looking for some sort of passive investment, passive income. And that is where people get confused, tend to confuse trading with investing, which are two things which are similar in a way but very different, because they move on to different time frames, time spans. You can be a good investor and you can make a living out of that by simply saving. And again, I recall Tony Robbins' books, 7 Steps to Financial Freedom, and many others, where I think he went through this topic in a very deep and substantial way. So I encourage you to read this. So basically, I suggest that a good saving plan, a good investment plan, managing your savings in the proper way can get you to that sort of financial independence, as well as, I don't know, some simple investment like investing in real estate, investing in, I tell you something simple, parking lots, or just leverage up on Airbnb, get rent some houses or flats in your house and learn how to manage your house on Airbnb, and then you can get some passive income. And it's another way to diversify your investment and to make a living without necessarily consuming your eyes in front of 3 screens and having that sort of incertitude. I mean, there are many different alternatives out there which are possibly better than trading in general and economic sense. So are you really sure that trading is your way to achieve that goal of becoming financial independent? That leads me automatically to point number 3, because the reason why some of you don't take this path, they just exclude it, they just take it away, say, okay, but I don't have enough money yet to get there. So the reality is that you want to invest your small capital, most of the times you are undercapitalized, and you want to make money quick. So you're not thinking about a long-term plan, you think about a short-term plan. You're thinking in your mind that you think you're putting down a small amount of money and you're going to multiply that capital multiple times, and so by that you go rich fast. You want to get rich quick. You don't want to get rich, you get there eventually in 10 years, 20 years, and no, you want the money now, which is a bit the problem of our civilization in general. We want everything, and we want it now, we want it very quickly. So what happens is that most probably you don't have the right capital, and so you will start leveraging up of your capital, which is the worst thing you can do, but it's the typical mistake all the young traders, the young retail traders, the inexperienced retail traders do. So overexposing yourself with leverage because you don't understand leverage very well. And so that leads me, if you want, to a typical mistake, which is you decide to put down a capital, saying, okay, I'm dedicating this capital for this investment and I'm ready to lose it. The reality is you're not actually ready to lose that capital. Is a sum you are allocating to that, but you're not ready to lose it. You're ready to lose a part of it, but then unless you start on the right foot and things go well, and then from there you can leveraging up and pumping up your account. If it starts to go in the other direction, you start consuming and raising your capital, the sort of revenge feeling comes out, and basically automatically you don't stop there. After the famous minus 20, minus 30, minus 40, you start leveraging up. So you put down 100, you say, okay, I'm gonna stop at minus 30%, and finally the typical thing is that you burst your whole account. So you end up finally you end up losing a lot more than what you have originally planned. And the main reason at the beginning of this path is undercapitalization and the misconception about the revenues that you can generate from a trading account, and now you're going to get to generate them. Okay. In finance, one of the golden rules is that reward is always proportional to risk. So if you want to reward your capital a lot, it means that you're risking a lot. And so consider yourself if you're ready to take that risk. The point number 4 is a bit delicate, because many times I had some of these candidate traders, some taken in a very personal and emotional way, say, but I'm failing this test, but I know I'm good at it. I know I'm good. You have a passion for finance. You want to do it because you like it. Okay, that is totally understandable. I have a passion for it. I have a passion for many things though. I have a passion for cooking. I have a passion for playing ukuleles and playing drums. I have a passion for watches. There are many things, many passions that I have in my life, but I'm not necessarily thinking about making a living out of it. Sometimes it's a good choice because, if you pick up a job that you have a passion for, you won't work a day in your life. That I can understand. But in this particular case, it's making a living out of trading is a bit like making a living out of singing or becoming a professional sportsman, like playing for Barcelona or PSG or playing a major league team or in the NBA. It could happen, but it's a very small chance for it to happen, even if you have that talent. Maybe you have it, I'm not saying you don't have it. Maybe you have it, but even in that case, the odds are not in your favor. So when you're considering trading for a living, you should put this on the table as well. Okay, I really like it, but at the same time, am I actually good at it? Do I have the means to get there? Do I have the economic means? Do I have the intellectual means? Do I have the path that my story, personal story, say that I'm going in that direction? So I'm sorry guys, this is a bit of the ugly truth. I'm just putting this in your face. I don't know if you're telling yourself these things, because sometimes you sing under the shower, you think you're very good at singing, but singing while you're showering and singing in front of an audience is a totally different thing. So keep that in your mind as well. Okay. The last point is a bit in connection with what we discussed already, the point number 3, and that is regarding again once more the ugly truth. And I want you to consider to make a proper business plan, and by doing that you should consider how much do you really need to live out of trading. How much do you need to take money out of your trading account to be able to sustain your expenses, like paying mortgage or rent, buy your groceries, insurance, or whatever other expenses you have. Can you afford not to take money out of the account for like 6 months or 1 year? Because you need the time to test your strategy. You need to allow yourself some time and some space. That could be 1 year. Okay, taking a sabbatical year. For 1 year I will not take any money out of the trading account, and possibly whatever I put there I'm gonna lose. If you're able to do that, your odds increase. But how many among you are actually able to say, okay, I'm not gonna work for 1 year or 6 months, I'm gonna allocate this amount that I'm ready to lose, $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 that I'm ready to lose, and at the same time I'm not taking anything out. So you can end up incurring in the loss of the trading account, having lost the money to sustain yourself and your family. You're putting already on yourself a lot of pressure. You need to succeed. And these are not good premises to be successful in an environment where you're by default already under a lot of stress. Okay? Especially, as we said before, if you want to make money quick. And that's again once more where the pitfall are. Also, how much in your mind are you rewarding your capital? 20-30% a year more? You're thinking about doubling it? Let's think about it together. That's the reason. We know there is an index for it. You can check it. But basically, large majority of hedge funds cannot beat the S&P 500 over 5 years. Okay, so there are only a bunch, a small set of white unicorns of those famous Ray Dalios, Tudor Jones, Simmons, and you name it, Honduran, whatever famous money manager you want to cite here. There is only a bunch of them which consistently can make money, and their results are not in the let's say amount of multiply their account by 3, by 4, by 5. So would you think in your mind that you will be able to replicate those performances? Like every year take home a 20-30%, like printing money, like if you have a money making machine? Or could you have one good year and one bad year, etc.? I mean, are you taking into account these sort of considerations when you're thinking I want to trade for a living? Because you definitely should. So this is where, in all this environment, this is where possibly joining a prop house is a good way in the middle, in the sense that you're not risking your own capital, you don't need to do that for a living. It's a good way to kickstart this process and to have a company behind you that will help you in a way to keep you on the right track without you necessarily risking your own money, without necessarily you leaving your job, without necessarily you leveraging up your capital. That's where this sort of prop houses will come in and be a good alternative for the average retail trader. I want to, of course, make then a video only for this, but this is where I wanted to take you. And I want to share now the last point, after we of course made this discussion about how much you're going to reward your capital, which could lead us to be a bit pretentious about how cool we think we are in trading. But at the same time, let me tell you that after my first job as a professional trader, where I passed from having a super performance with a super bonus to destroy my initial prop account. That was the years, the 2008 crisis. One day I'll tell you about that too, eventually. But I started trading for myself, and it almost costed me my savings and my marriage. So after struggling for 2 years, also because I did the reverse path, I started trading as a prop trader, and then moved back on a retail side, trading my own account. So I used to trade with that mentality, with that size, etc., and I couldn't make it work for myself for the reasons I just mentioned. So it almost cost me everything, family, savings, my mental health, etc. And when finally I started to make money, I remember that clearly it was summer. I was in my office in Monaco, and I was trading DAX. I had a very nice trade. I had some money. I was hearing the screams of the children on the beach playing out, etc. It was a sunny day, beautiful day, and I was there in front of the screens. It was 5:30, and I said to myself, what the hell am I doing here? What am I doing here? Where do I want to be in 5 years' time? Do I want to be just myself in the office watching an electric impulse going up and down on color bars on a screen? That's my future? I couldn't picture myself that way. That was not providing me any satisfaction. And that is something also you should try and think for yourself. For me, that couldn't work. It doesn't work. Now I need a human path, I need an entrepreneurial approach. That's why I tried several other things like Savius and other adventures, and the one that I'm doing now, etc. So this led me to a consideration which is a bit, romantic if you want, but keep that in mind. Your life and you are not your trading account. That is, you can be a very intelligent and smart and nice human being which have success in many fields, and possibly you are not able to make this trading thing work. And this doesn't make any less of you. You're not your trading account. And before going to identify yourself, your trading account, and looking for this path, think deeply if that's really what you want for your life. As far as I'm concerned, no. Thank you very much. I want that, but in a different form, because I need something else in my life. I need the human touch. I need an entrepreneurial approach. That alone, the pure making money on the screen trading, that doesn't do it for me. I feel depressed. Okay. Well, guys, once more, a nice, there are rainbows in the skies and the birds are singing, because I gave you a lot of goodwill to start and proceed your trading career. I don't know if I gave you, courage, or if I actually have inhibited your will to move on. But I think I triggered something. I think that this will trigger some discussion, and I think that prop houses are a good opportunity for you to at least test some of what I said and pose yourself some questions, trigger some inner reflections. Okay, well guys, I think that's it for this time. I'm coming back with some more videos, and we're gonna eviscerate these issues and some other problems that the retail traders have to face on an everyday basis. So please, if you enjoyed this video, just smash the magic like button and stay tuned, because there's more coming on. Thank you very much. See you next time. Hey, keep your leverage.